they watching, I'ma make them sweat. Put your money down, place your bets. Degenerate, yeah, I'm a sicko. Who else gon' get you to the window? I know they watching, I'ma make them sweat. Put your money down, place your bets. Degenerate.
Welcome to Graybo's Giblets, part of the NoOffSeason.com Sports Card Network. We know you don't have 40 hours per week to pour over podcasts and spreadsheets to handicap these games yourself. We do that for you and bring you our picks each week so you can have some confidence heading into the window or heading into the weekend or walking up to the window. Cut that, Fitz. We're out here dropping giblets, and we might drop a few giblets about sports cards while we are here. I'm your host, Graybo, and I'm joined by always Denny One Time and Fitz to break down the big game, Super Bowl 58. That's as old as Duke Dotson. We got the Kansas City Chiefs 14-6 versus the San Francisco 49ers at 14-5. Fitz, the Niners have made it. Fitz had a crazy weekend. I want him to kind of explain what happened over the weekend on my birthday. Colleen just taking all my thunder. But welcome in, boys. It's the big game. How we doing? And Graybo's had a pretty big day today. So, Denny and Fitz, what's going on?
Well, I'll let Fitz go first. Fitz, what happened to you this week?
Big week in the Fitz household. Welcomed our second child. Our daughter Delaney was born on Saturday, the 3rd, Graybo's birthday. So kind of stole that shine from him. He was excited about his birthday all week. Could not stop talking about it. And then she came in there and stole your thunder. So we're having a good time here. We're remembering what no sleep is like, but we're excited.
No sleep until that game is over, probably. Not even talking about the baby, just talking about the 49ers playing in the big game.
Oh, yeah, no, the baby's been a breeze. It's just the anxiety of the pass defense of the Kansas City Chiefs that keeps me up at night.
Well, I'm glad everyone's doing well. Beautiful wife, Colleen. Congratulations to the Fitz household, Delaney and Fitz. February 3rd, sharing a special day. Dude, what's up, man? I see that you showing the muscles on the screen.
Yeah. So I've always given Fitz crap about his last name not being a complete last name, and like Fitzpatrick means son of Patrick, and Fitzgerald means son of Gerald, and so his name is just Fitz. So I think like he's the equivalent of Jon Snow, where he's just a bastard because he's not the son of anybody. He's just Fitz. And so I think we should declare that Delaney's name is actually Delaney Fitzryan.
Who's Ryan?
Man. What would Bob Fitz have to say about that? Calling you a bastard.
Hey, why isn't your name Ryan Fitzbob?
It should be Fitzbob. Maybe that'll be my new handle on whatnot, Fitzbob.
All right, let's get into it. A little preview here. We got the Chiefs at +2 is where I'm seeing most of the spread for the Chiefs around the DraftKings and FanDuel. Do you guys see any better odds for the Chiefs? I think that's pretty standard. They're +100 money line. San Francisco obviously -2, -120 money line. Over/under is 47.5. How do we feel about this game? We got Mahomes looking for number 3. We got Purdy, who is kind of bounced back nicely in these last couple games as being down and bringing the 49ers back from a comeback, especially being down 24-7 against the Lions. He looked good at the end of the game. So we got Mahomes versus Purdy. What are y'all's overall thoughts just about the 49ers against probably the hottest team right now, the Chiefs, who during the regular season we thought were normal, and now they're playing some of the best football?
I mean, I'm glad. I'm really glad there's 2 weeks between the last game and this game, just so a couple guys can rest, so we see them at full strength. Last year you had gimpy Mahomes against gimpy Hurts, and then and Purdy got hurt. Could have been in the Super Bowl, but he got hurt. And so this game you got old man Kelsey's going to be rested. You got Rashee Rice, who was kind of dinged up, is rested. You got Debo rested, and so it feels like people are coming in full strength. So I think we're going to get a great game. I think it's 2 great teams. I think the way I kind of handicap it is I think the Niners are a little better than the Chiefs, but the Chiefs have that guy named Mahomes, who he's going to show up. And the question is Purdy going to come out flat? Is he going to come out a little intimidated? Even the best can buckle a little bit under this pressure of the limelight. Look at Lamar last time, in the championship game. It's just a couple mistakes you got to make. One or two mistakes you got to make, and Mahomes is going to beat you. So can Purdy play perfect? Because Mahomes has been perfect in the playoffs. He really has not made a mistake. Fitz, how do you feel about this game?
Lamar definitely looked scared in the AFC Championship. He was running scared. He just looked uncomfortable, and Mahomes can do that to you. Fitz, what do the 49ers have to do to win this game, man? Break down this team, man.
Last week with the Ravens, I thought that game plan was a little bizarre. I think Shanahan will probably come in with a better game plan than what the Ravens did. I think they should have ran the ball, and I think Shanahan is definitely going to run the ball, kind of to what Denny said with Purdy. This is he's got to be, regardless of how cool and calm collected he's looked, it's the Super Bowl, and he's going to be nervous, and he's going to want to try to get the ball to Chris McCaffrey as much as possible, lean on that run scheme that he has that's so successful, and that's like the weakness of the Chiefs. Like, their defense is really, really good. The pass defense is unbelievable. Their corners and secondary are insane, and that's where the vulnerability is running the football. So use your strengths, take the ball, not take it out of, Purdy's hands necessarily. He's going to have to probably end up beating them, especially if they start like they've started the last two games. They're kind of like, I call them like the final destination team this year. Like, they should have lost to the Packers and they should have lost to the Lions, but they didn't. They found a way to get it done. And so I don't know that they'll have, that's completely different going against Patrick Mahomes. They cannot go down 17 at halftime and expect to come back against the Chiefs. So I don't know. It's interesting. I'm like, it's hard kind of like putting the bias aside. Like, obviously I'm a huge 49ers fan. The 49ers were by far the best team in the regular season. You can, up until maybe that Ravens game, and the Ravens were kind of the unanimous better team. The Chiefs were not very good. And now the playoffs, though, the Chiefs are by far the best team in the playoffs, and the Niners are not looking that hot. So it's an interesting one to kind of handicap from a side perspective. So I'm kind of excited to get into like the props and some of the other things that we can bet and make money on.
Love it. Yeah. So this show, we're definitely going to get into the props and futures. It's just Super Bowl is just an awesome time to make some bets. There's some good value out there. Two great teams. This Super Bowl is going to be pretty legit, I think. So remember, you can get 10% off any purchase at graybos.co by using the promo code Strategy2023. That's all lowercase, Strategy2023. There's four big things that everyone should bet on. We're going to get into it. The coin toss being one, where you have the best odds in the world. 50-50 shot. Happens in 1 second. It is so... What's the word I'm looking for?
Anticlimactic? Climatic?
I finished my sentence and it says crickets. It's going to be just an exciting time to watch this game. We're going to be spinning it at Denny's house, doing some content with Enzo. So that's going to be exciting. And so the coin toss is probably going to be the first thing that we're going to be looking at. Coin toss, Denny, do you ride the same thing every year, or do you switch it? You go back and forth. What's the strategy behind your coin toss picks?
I've been tracking coin tosses in my life about 37 years, and it's actually not 50-50. It's actually 52-48 heads. So you have a distinct advantage. Honestly, I don't know how you bet tails. I think like people who bet tails probably like rooted for Russia in the Olympics against the Americans. So yeah, heads, always heads for me.
All right, so Denny's going heads. Fitz, what is your bet this year? Do you ride the same bet every year, or do you switch it up?
So that's Denny showing his age there, that 58 years, referencing the 1980 Olympics, where half of our listeners were alive for. I think, so this is Super Bowl 58. Tails has hit 30 of 57 times, so slight advantage there. I don't know. You're the poker guy. Denny, is it better? Is it going to regress to the mean? Is that why you like heads there? I'm going tails. Tails never fails. We do a lot of coin flips in the shop when it comes to negotiating trades and making deals with customers and coming up or down, mostly Cole losing. And I've been pretty successful with tails, so I'll ride with tails.
Man, stealing my thunder. I'm 3-0 in the shop with tails and making deals, and I think two of them were against Cole as well. So We need to ask Cole what he wants and then go opposite as well.
Yep.
Tails never fails. I'm riding tails with Fitz. Denny thinks we root for Russia. We really don't, but it will be exciting that we have something different. It'll make for good content. So we got 2 tails, 1 heads. Denny's taking heads. Myself and Fitz are taking tails for the coin toss. All right, the other thing that we love to bet on in the Super Bowl is first touchdown. Also very exciting. Denny, who are you riding first touchdown, and do you have the odds on this person?
I think my kind of betting game plan for props is you're going to see is 2 things. We're going to talk about punters, and we'll get to that, and we're going to talk about Rashee Rice. So I do think that a lot of money is going to be on Kelsey, and so there's going to be some value with Rashee. I think Rashee Rice has kind of emerged to be like the dude in Kansas City. It's going to be his coming out party for the nation. And so I'm going to have him to score 2 touchdowns. We'll get to that in a second. But so for first TD, I'm still going with Rashee, and I'll get you that price in a second.
Yeah. Later on in this podcast, I also have a couple prop bets for him as well. A couple overs.
10 to 1.
Yeah, I like him a lot. That's great odds. Yeah. I like him a lot to have a big game, a lot of receptions, a lot of yards. Because I think the 49ers are going to try to shut down Kelsey. I don't know if they are going to, but could be the game plan. Fitz, first touchdown. Who is it?
I think it's a guy you like too, a guy who's healthy and a total game changer. Debo, he's just under 10 to 1. I can find him at plus 950 on FanDuel. Really just more trying to speak this into existence and praying that they don't fall behind for the 3rd straight game. So I'm going to take a Niner here to score first, go up. Niners obviously much better as front runners. So I'd like to see Debo and the Niners get off to a hot start. I think you'll see some of my props too, or just overall bets will be more Debo than Ayuk, because Ayuk is going to be probably covered by Snead, who's really going to probably hamper some of his output. So I think it leaves room for Debo to find some success.
Love it. I know Tim's not going to like this, but I agree with you. I'm riding Debo as well. Snead is real good. I think he's only given up 1 touchdown all year, and that was last week or in the AFC Championship, ACC Championship game 2 weeks ago. So I'm also riding Debo at plus 950 on FanDuel. This guy's an absolute difference maker. I also there was a prop first person to rush for over 10 yards, and he has great value on that. He's going to run the ball for you. He's like you said, Purdy's going to make these check down, small throws, get it to your playmakers, get them comfortable. And so when you get around the goal line, you get a little tight, check down Debo, nice little screen or a reverse. Debo hits the end zone for that first touchdown at plus 950. I like that a lot.
Plus, you have those quick passes, right, that are behind the line of scrimmage. So he's a big candidate for those as well.
Yes, exactly. So who are the winning picks here? And based on what we've already said, I kind of know where this is going. Kind of think Denny is against me and Fitz this weekend, and me and Fitz are more aligned for Sunday. Denny, who's the winning team? You always got to bet on that.
And just before you make this pick, Denny, even though I'm a fan, you can pick whoever you want. Just know when you pick whoever you pick, you might or may not be going against sweet, week-old Delaney here in her best interest. So it's up to you on what you do here.
Listen, Delaney Fitz-Ryan has to learn this is a cold world, okay? Ain't no fairy tales. So, back to what I said earlier, I do think the Niners are slightly better in a regular season game. I think I would pick them to win. But the last 2 weeks, the last 2 games, I bet against Patrick Mahomes, and I instantly regretted it the second the game started. When I see the poise, I see the big playability, making the play when he needs to. Somehow he makes MVS catch it when it matters, and MVS drops it in the regular season. He's got a magical touch. He hasn't had a turnover in the playoffs in how many straight games? So give me the Chiefs 27-24. I think the Niners are going to put up a hell of a fight. Again, it wouldn't surprise me if the Niners win by 10. That wouldn't surprise me either. But if you're asking me what I think is going to happen, I think Mahomes will win by a field goal.
So 27-24. And to go off of that, who's going to win MVP? So obviously Chiefs win. You think it's going to be a Chief. is Mahomes would probably be the likely pick, but you're not going to get any value off of that. So
Yeah.
go ahead and give us your thoughts.
I think if the Niners win, I think there's 3 or 4 even likely candidates. But if the Chiefs win, it's going to be Mahomes. Rashi or Pacheco, like they're going to have to do something outrageous to be MVP. And if every time Kelsey scores, guess who threw it? Mahomes, right? So a position player or someone else, defensive player, we'll have to have an unreal game for them not to give it to Mahomes because it's a better story, it's a better script if Mahomes wins his 3rd Super Bowl and is MVP.
Yeah. Fitz, we going with heart? Or we think the 49ers are really going to do it? Were they the better team? What we got? Is Fitz going to take the Chiefs to win? I know he's going to bet on the Chiefs a lot.
I mean, yeah, it depends on which angle you're looking at. Obviously, we're going to go heart here for the purpose of the pick. It's going to be the Niners. You can't pick against your team in the Super Bowl. It's insane. You can, though, however, bet a comfortable amount against them to ease the pain of what's inevitably what Patrick Mahomes will do to me. He ripped my heart out once already, so I know the feeling. I had a dream last night, and I woke up and the Niners had lost the Super Bowl, which is just kind of sad as a 35-year-old man dreaming about a bunch of 20-year-olds playing football, and it's causing me anguish. But I do have a 10-1 ticket on the Niners to win a decent amount. If you followed the podcast, I had a lot on the Bills winning the AFC and playing the Niners. So when they were matched up against the Chiefs, I went ahead and hedged the Chiefs not just to win that game, but to win the Super Bowl. So I got them at 8-1 back then. So I have I'm pretty solid either way here. I have a good amount ready to go live betting. I'll an hour before the game I'll be betting the Chiefs just out of nerves, and then if the Niners go up a touchdown, if they go up 7-0, I'm going to empty the clip on the live on the Chiefs. And so I just want that to be known, for the listeners, not that, anyone's tailing me, but no one's going to mistake me for a plus EV better. I'm all emotion. So I'm going to take the Niners and I'm going to bet a lot on Kansas City so that after a week, after the pain subsides, I'll at least be able to see I have some more money to bet on golf this year.
Perfect. And MVP. So 2 likely candidates, really. Purdy. McCaffrey has a really good shot as well. Because you talk about the run game, so he gets 2 or 3 touchdowns, definitely MVP for what he's done in that team. So definitely could be one or 2 of those guys. But do you have any sleeper MVP picks?
No, it's I want to go McCaffrey plus 450 is the best number I've seen.
Pretty good. That's pretty good too.
Yeah, but I think that McCaffrey wins it if the Niners are able to do what they want to do and establish a run and get out to a lead, and which I'm not all that confident in. So I do think Purdy will eventually have to win this game, and it is kind of a quarterback-driven award. It's not as I actually looked at it. It's only 62%. I thought it was going to be way higher to the quarterback, but I think just with the story, it's kind of last pick in the draft. If he throws for 2 touchdowns and McCaffrey, as long as McCaffrey doesn't score 3, they're going to give it to Brock Purdy for the movie script. So, and I don't think anyone would disagree with that. So yeah, Purdy. I saw Purdy at plus 235, so I don't hate that.
Okay, that was my question. That's good. That's still good. I'll bet that plus 235.
I'm with
Purdy.
You.
Yeah,
I would say with the only thing going against Purdy is if Debo scores a rushing and a receiving touchdown, right? Or McCaffrey does 2 rushings, and Purdy ends the game with 1 touchdown pass and still wins. I don't think Purdy gets it, right? And I think the 49ers could score 4 touchdowns on the ground somehow, probably.
Yeah. So I'm kind of with Fitz there. Either Purdy, C-Mac has a really good shot as well. But I mean, Duke said it. I have value in Debo. Can make a big play and be a difference maker. He would be my sleeper MVP pick for the Niners. For me, I'm picking the Niners. I'm riding with Fitz here, 27-24. So same score as Denny, but the opposite teams. And my wallet would be real fat if the 49ers would win. Put a lot of money on the Niners. Put a lot of trust in the Niners. Also in a big playoff pool. If the Chiefs win, I don't get anything. If the 49ers win, I win the pool. So a lot on the Niners. So let's hit the middle. I'm going to also bet a lot on the Chiefs plus 3.5. Get that alternate line at 3.5. 49ers win by 3. We're having a good time. So that's where I kind of stand with this game. Now to the fun part. Super Bowl props. Gatorade, Taylor Swift, Kelsey. I know Trent might even bet some Duke or pay attention with Taylor Swift being here at the Super Bowl. And before we get into our Super Bowl props, remember, you can go on Whatnot, get $15 by joining through the whatnot.sportscardstrategy.com. And our guy Cole is on Whatnot right now. So I know you can't, I know you're not going to hear this until tomorrow, but just saying. Favorite Super Bowl props. Here we go. Denny, how you guys want to do this? You want to do like one at a time? You want to rattle off all of them? You want to alternate? Because there's a few that we have here. I'll just start with Denny, and Denny, you do all of them, and then we'll go from there. So Denny, what are your favorite props for Sunday? And you've told the people that you're not a prop bettor, but Super Bowl is different.
It is. Super Bowl is different. A lot more analysis around props. A lot more like there's only one game to focus on. You have 2 weeks to think about it. So you don't want to just bet the game. How boring is just betting the game? So I'm thinking about the game script here and how to get weird on some props. Like with the game script, I'm kind of betting on is a slow start for the Niners offense. I think they'll get it together. They've started slow 2 weeks straight. The Chiefs have forced other people to start slow, and so what that means is they're going to punt. I wanted to get the 49ers punter, longest punt over 55.5 yards is what I wanted, but now it's gone up to 57.5, and I think that's too much. And so I'm going to take the 49ers punter shortest punt over 37.5 yards. I think he's going to bang it. So I'm just hoping for everything over 37.5, and I'm also hoping for San Francisco gross punt yardage over 150.5.
Do you know who the punter is?
No.
Mitch Wisnowski. Do you know where he's from?
Wisconsin.
Australia. Do you know what his nickname is?
No.
The Boomin' Onion.
Yeah, I love it.
I mean, taking overs on that guy, that's a lock.
Yeah. So like Sharps have him averaging this game 3.5 or 4 punts. So if he just gets 3 average punts, he'll be over that 150.5, and I see them punting at least 3 times. So I got 2 punting props, which I'm very excited about that.
That's beautiful.
That's fun.
I'm looking for a better price on this one. Hopefully you guys help me find it. I want Rashee Rice 2 touchdowns, and I've got it at $850, but I think that I've got to be able to find more than that out there somewhere. So y'all can help me look. And then finally, I want to do an anytime touchdown on a weirdo. For San Fran, I was thinking about either Juwan Jennings or Juszczyk, the fullback. But I think what I'm going to do is go Richie James for the Chiefs, anytime touchdown plus 1,200 because his price is better than Juwan or the fullback. So give me Richie James. That's all I got.
So we got
former Niners.
So we got Richie James as our weirdo for DraftKings Showdown lineups.
Mm-hmm.
So you're expecting a punt return for a touchdown because I don't know that he sees the field outside of special teams. Kadarius Toney's back, so I mean that's huge for the Niners.
Yeah, if you were Andy Reid, would you play him or Hardman right now? I wouldn't play either one. I'm jamming Richie James in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done with props. Your turn, Fitz.
All right, Fitz. Let's go. What we got? Give us some good ones.
Mine are kind of Niners heavy, which is shocking, right? I'm going to go McCaffrey over 3.5 yards on his first carry. I think that it's going to be a scripted play. Obviously, Shanahan will be confident in the play call and it's hit 11 out of the last 16 games. And obviously, I mentioned earlier that the Chiefs' run defense is where you can find some holes. So give me McCaffrey over 3.5 on the first carry. I like a lot of just overall Debo overs. So I'll go with just the obvious one, which is just his receiving yards, 58.5. I think he's healthy. It's a mismatch for the Chiefs. Again, Snead is going to be probably on Ayuk, and I think they're really going to be focused on trying to take away Christian McCaffrey. So I think that just opens the door for more plays. And obviously he's just an absolute bruiser. He breaks tackles. So I think he can get to that 58.5 number as long as he obviously stays healthy, knock on wood. Juszczyk. Kristen Juszczyk's husband, Kyle Juszczyk, plays for the 49ers. He's the fullback. He is kind of like the everything, the unsung hero for the Niners offense. He does a lot of things. He helps out Purdy a lot. He's 10-1 anytime scorer. I love that if they get down to the goal line, get him a chance to get the ball, or it's just some sort of little wrinkle that Kyle Shanahan's had 2 weeks to prepare. So I love Juszczyk getting involved. I also probably going to look at some other of his props when it comes to mostly receiving versus rushing. This is one that Duke's not going to like, probably. Mooney, Ward, Javarius Ward are all pro cornerback. Former Chief, his first interception of the game prop is 18-1. Anytime is like 5.5-1. I kind of like that too. I saw an interesting stat, or someone was talking about it, that he plays the left side, and that's Mahomes' worst side throwing the ball to. So I guess like Mahomes' right side. So it's just like an interesting little nugget, little giblet that I picked up from somebody. And I think Javarius Ward, especially maybe you get one right off the hands, a perfect ball right to Kadarius Toney, bounces off of his face right to Ward. He can pick one off. So 18-1, I just like those. I'll sprinkle a little bit there. First play of the Super Bowl, going to be a run, -130. I mean, who doesn't want to start the Super Bowl off with just a nice, easy run, get the jitters out, let the offensive line get in the groove, let the quarterback get in the groove. Mahomes probably will throw a 60-yard bomb, but I'll take -130 on first run. That's it for me.
Good giblets, too. I was really into those giblets.
I like when you're into the giblets, Gray.
I'm into it. That really got me thinking. Just more things to bet on. All right, for me, I have 6. I have some anytime touchdowns too, but we'll categorize that as 1. They're all going to hit. They're all going to hit. Denny, stop yawning. All right, both teams to score a rushing touchdown +200. You can get that boost on DraftKings from 120 to 200 just by opting in. So go to that. Pacheco has scored in pretty much every playoff game on the ground. Christian McCaffrey is an absolute beast. He'll score easily. He'll score at least 1 on Sunday. So I think that will hit. I'm with Denny with Rice this game. On the over in receptions, my system has him projected at 8 catches. So his over 6.5. At -115, and his projection for receiving yards is around 90, and his over 67.5. So I love the over in both receptions and receiving yards for Rice, both at -115. Over 6.5 receptions, over 67.5 receiving yards.
Rice is typically do pretty well in Super Bowls.
What's that?
I said Rice is usually do pretty well in Super Bowls.
Who are you talking about, Ray Rice?
I mean, no, I was talking about Jerry Rice.
I was so confused because I thought you were clowning me for Rashid Rice not being in the Super Bowl yet because he's a rookie.
No, but I do want to hear more about your system.
Okay,
your model.
My model that I get my giblets from. Field goal attempt on first drive +300, and a field goal before a touchdown at +130. I think whoever gets the ball first going to put a few first downs together and then kick a field goal. I think they're going to get tight around the red zone and not score a touchdown, kick a field goal to get on the board. So we can win both of those, field goal attempt first drive and field goal before a touchdown, knock out both of those. I do have Kansas City first touchdown, even though I took Deebo Samuel to score first. I just like the value there at +105, especially if Mahomes gets the ball first. And then anytime touchdowns, Kelsey, obviously, I'm going to take every week. And then he's at -105. But Deebo, I love it, +135. And then one of my favorites is Christian McCaffrey first half touchdown. You get it at +130. So I like that a lot because you never get him plus anything for anytime touchdown. He's like -300, -400 every game. So to get a touchdown in the first half, which I think will happen, get some value at +130 for McCaffrey. And then Fitz, we want to shout out Roto Grinders for their model. And the blitz, Derek Carty's blitz from Roto Grinders, that has some great projections for receiving yards and receptions.
I thought you had developed
Oh,
a
no.
model. That you were
Absolutely
doing.
no time to do that. My model for basketball is absolutely in shambles. But football's been all right. We did all right in football. So shout out Derek Carty and the blitz. Great model.
Kelsey
right.
minus 105. I
Where are you
feel
seeing
like
Kelsey?
that is, Kelsey minus 105 is just crazy to me. I feel like if you're not going to bet that, then you should just pound the Niners, because can you imagine a scenario where Travis Kelsey doesn't find the end zone?
Yeah, I mean,
Like I said, and the Chiefs win. Like, there's no way that I almost like him at 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
I saw was like 400.
Do you know it opened at plus 100 for anytime touchdown, Kelsey? I missed that. I missed the boat on that. I don't know. I was looking at it and someone had that. I don't know where it was and I couldn't find it, but it's minus 105 was the best that I saw.
I mean, if you don't get you're going to get plenty of the Taylor Swift. It's also very funny that there's so many middle-aged men that are so upset about them showing the biggest global pop star. It's so bizarre, but they're obviously going to show her. But obviously, he needs to find the end zone so they can have a real good reason to pan to her without too many people getting upset.
God, I would love for her to go on stage with Usher. Her and Usher, that'd be epic.
It might be tougher to put on performance. I think she'll obviously be there, but we can only hope. We're all rooting for it, obviously.
Before we get out of here, we got some big cards. I know Fitz has some Purdy's that he probably wants to talk about and discuss with us, on what he wants to do with them. And then the shop has some big Mahomes, and the fund has the Mahomes cards. So Denny, actually, you had a meeting with the fund a couple nights ago or last night. So we can kind of go over that as well. I know we're kind of bitter on Josh Allen and Lamar, so we'll see how they're doing as well. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and check out CGC cards for perfect PC protection starting at $12. You can visit graybowsgiblets.com and click on the CGC banner for more details. So, Denny, I know you're the Mahomes guy. We have some banger of cards in the safe for the fund. He might win his 3rd Super Bowl. I'm not going to be able to pay for a Mahomes card ever again if he wins a 3rd Super Bowl. What are we doing? What are we doing with them?
Well, yeah, in the fund, I was really rooting for Josh Allen or Lamar make it to the Super Bowl. Those are the guys I kind of bet on preseason. I bet on Josh Allen several seasons in a row now, but Lamar bet this preseason. And I thought one of them was going to get there. A little brokenhearted that neither one of them did. I thought we were getting really close to have a big moment for Lamar's cards if he won last week. But, when we bought 2 fun cards, for 2 big Mahomes for the fund this year. And I wasn't as excited about those because I didn't think they had as much upside potential. But now we're here, and he's on the precipice of his 3rd Super Bowl. And I do think we'll get a little movement in his cards. So we've got them both up on the market. We're not auctioning them. We're just putting them out there as a buy it now. Someone's jump up and grab them. Great. If not, we're happy to hold him because I think he'll continue to go up in price over time. He's the dude. So So I'm just really and now I don't have any big Niners in the fund. So really, for the fund's sake, it's all about Mahomes right now. And I'll turn over the floor to somebody who has a lot of his net worth in Brock Purdy. Go ahead.
Before we turn it over to Purdy, can you tell us the number they're on eBay?
The dollar amount?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. Do you know it off the top of your head?
One we're asking around $12,000. One we're asking around $6-7 grand. Is that right?
And that's when the soundbite fits. You put in that says, "God damn."
The plates and patches to 10, BGS 8.5, auto 10 is at 15, and the one that I bought at, I think it was Chantilly, the 2017 rookie patch variation
See how
auto
you
to
dropped
25.
that line, the one that I bought.
Well, yeah, it's like the whole, shout out Nick Shader, hoisted by my own petard. I was nervous about making that purchase at the time. It was a pretty big buy. I wasn't, it was Patrick Mahomes. It was kind of like with the fund in mind that this would be a 3 to 5 year hold to see if he gets, 2 to 3 more championships, which would not shock anybody, right? So also shout out to loyal listener and fan of the program, Brent Harding. We have one of his cards on consignment, the 2017 Donruss rookie phenom jersey card to 25. It's on auction right now for the next 3 days. Ends at 3:00 Eastern on Super Bowl Sunday. So get your bids in. Starts at $1, no reserve. Brent's not scared.
Ooh, go ahead. Love it. And then at the show on Sunday at 3 Point, we sold a nice rookie Prism Silver Christian McCaffrey PSA 10 for about $275. So that was a pretty big sale for a C-Mac has gone up a lot as well. So we made some money off of that. It was a good flip for us. Flipped in about 3 days. That is what we saw from a couple guys. Now let's go to Fitz for his Purdy collection, who, tell you what, Fitz is a collector now, baby. All in on the Purdy. Bought some Purdys, and now you have probably, 3X, 4X, 5X these cards?
Yeah, well, first I'm really most excited about my Chris McCaffrey rookie card that was gifted to me. So that was looking really good. Thank God it's not a Zion. No, yeah. So Purdy's been making their way through the shop. A lot of Purdy haters, still a lot of Purdy haters, but a lot of Purdy questioners, I guess. Like during the beginning of the year, right? Like if you look back at the beginning of the year, like he was hurt coming off the NFC Championship game. People thought that Trey Lance was going to take his job back or get his job back. So people were dumping Purdy's, and they knew I was kind of the mark for that. So I was buying people's Purdy's raw, getting a lot of them graded, found some success doing that, which is great. So my strategy with him is I actually think now Purdy is the guy. I know a lot of people still don't believe in him, and obviously this game would go a long way for that kind of narrative. But so I've quite a bit of like base rookie Purdy's 10s, 9s, and those are just outrageous right now. Like the Prism rookies are going for over 200. The Mosaics are going for $170. So like right now, I'm just going to probably, because I'm in for them for nothing, I'm probably going to sell off a lot of those. And then I probably, depending on what happens, I may or may not be able to buy those back later on. And then I have some of the bigger ones that are numbered to 99 and some contenders to 30 that are, to Gray's point, those have definitely like 8X'd. I'm going to hold those just as like a PC and a fan of Purdy and the 49ers. And obviously if they win, like who knows, like maybe I'll check out in my drunken stupor what some drunk 49ers fan like myself, I'll probably end up trying to buy my own auction. But you can't even like speculate what someone would pay a 49ers fan who hasn't seen a championship in 30, 40 years now, would pay for a Brock Purdy card. So I'm going to hold on to some of the bigger ones and just kind of offload some of those smaller base ones.
Fitz, would you revere Joe Montana as much if he looked like a 14-year-old child?
One of my favorite things right now is this last week of just sending things that are disparaging to Brock Purdy back and forth to Duke. That guy is just getting compared to 14-year-old Anna Frey or volleyball player, tennis player, and then now what is it? The JFK's assassin is his new one. I saw a tweet earlier where someone said that he looks like the kid. He looks like the kid who's trying on or modeling the San Francisco 49ers Halloween costume. Like, he's like the nicest, like humblest guy. Like he should be. It's so funny. He should be like the most liked person in the NFL. And it seemed like Mahomes was kind of getting that villain status. Like people were kind of getting tired, like anybody, right? After you start winning a bunch, people want to see something new. You got the Taylor Swift thing with everyone getting mad about that. Like I thought the 49ers going in this thing would be like the lovable Once they knocked out, everyone would be on the Lions, obviously, right now. But I thought once the Lions were knocked out of the playoffs that the Niners would take that. But it doesn't really seem that way. It seems like, first of all, the public is 1,000% on the Chiefs, and the books, I guess, have some liability with futures on the Niners. But I don't know. It's interesting to kind of just watch it, like, kind of hover around like even money, and they keep hearing the word underdog. Like, I guess technically, by the definition, the Chiefs are underdogs, but in no way do they feel like they are. Anyways, go ahead, Graham.
Well, my wife is about to walk in here, wanting to be like, Mo, Super Bowl Sunday, what are you excited about?
Who you got, Mo?
Oh, she said Chiefs. I thought she was going to say Taylor Swift, but you actually. Oh, she has a Taylor Swift Chiefs sweatshirt, Fitz. Oh my gosh.
Thought she was going to say Buffalo
are you still coming to the Dotson Super Bowl party for a little bit after this comment?
You mentioned Enzo. Is Enzo going to be there?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I have to be there for some bit of content. Basically, the content will be me leaving 20 minutes before kickoff.
Yeah, and I was texting you whenever anything happens. That would be the content. I was trying to call you. Did you answer the phone?
Texting Colleen, trying to get her to sneak footage of me acting like an absolute psychopath.
Excellent. Well, market movers, ladies and gentlemen, you can save up to 20% after a free 14-day trial. Visit the marketmoversapp.com and use the promo code NOOFFSEASON. Very excited for Sunday. Fitz, I'm excited for you and nervous for you at the same time. Let's win some money, fellas. Anything to add before we get out of here?
Banana boat coming.
All right. Well, good luck with your bets. Thanks to our listeners for riding with Graybos. Be sure to tune in next time and leave us that 5-star review. We out.
Giblets.
When I go to sleep, I don't see sheep, see dollar signs. $100 got him beat the eyes for the 100th time at a money line. Brock Purdy was irrelevant, now I'm at the front like a cutting line. G5 to the power 5, Grable's on fire like it's summertime. I know they watching, I'ma make them sweat. Put your money down, place your bets. Degenerate, yeah, I'm a sicko. Who else gon' get you to the window? I know they watching, I'ma make them sweat. Put your money down, place your bets. Degenerate, yeah, I'm a sicko. Who else gon' get you to the window?